Uh,
Big ball, man, making my end.
Yo, what's going on, YouTube, man? You guys already know who it is, man. It's your boy, Sports Guy TV, where we talk sports like religion. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, man. Click that notification bell so you can get notified when I upload. Share the content, jump in the comments. Let's get it cracking. And the reason why I am uploading this video right now is to specifically tell you why my Washington Commanders, with the #2 overall pick, selects Jayden Daniels from LSU. Jayden just finished up his pro day, and what else could you expect? I mean, the Heisman Trophy winner looked like the Heisman Trophy winner. Do I make big deals out of pro days? Absolutely not. I mean, you got a guy throwing in, shorts, sweater, cut off, athletic gear, no pressure from the line of scrimmage. It's just to specifically attack those areas that impress scouts and coaches by watching your tape to see why that you're being considered that high draft pick. I like the way Caleb orchestrated his pro day when it came, because in the pocket, in the dirty pocket, he's able to create magic with his legs sliding, or just the intelligent and that ability that he has to just Mahomes like extend and make plays happen. Jayden Daniels has that same gift in the pocket, and the way his knock was, other than the fact that they say he's too small, and he confirmed with Louis Riddick that he is absolutely 210 pounds. Other than the knock of him having a slim frame and him being small, what they were saying was he hadn't thrown the intermediate routes or across the middle, which I have seen studying Jayden Daniels film back from Arizona State over there with Herm Edwards and Antonio Pierce. I have seen that. And he orchestrated some throws within his pro day with backs, let's say, swinging out to the flat, going across the middle, receivers running slants or skinny posts at short range, and then obviously the deep ball was pinpoint accurate. He did have one throw for 50 plus yards that he shot just a little bit too far for one of his receivers, but come on, man. I mean, what a perfect show out in front of all of those teams who were there, who were present. Obviously, the Commanders being there, the Patriots being there, the Raiders, Antonio Pierce and them being there, the Giants, I believe, was there. Just a couple of teams, man, that was there in attendance to watch Jayden Daniels, the current Heisman Trophy winner. Now, I wanted to also say, let's make this clear. With Washington being the #2 pick, I would not be upset if we take Caleb Williams, Jayden Daniels, or Drake May. Okay, so I'm going to run down some statistical stats from those three quarterbacks from year 22 to year 23. Caleb Williams' Heisman campaign, which is 2022, listen, he threw 500 passes in 2022. He completed 333 of those passes for a completion percentage of 66, 4,537 yards, 42 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, with a average yard per throw of 9.1. Okay. Year 23, which was a year which would they say would be his downside year, but for an average quarterback, when you set the bar that high for yourself, they consider this being an average year. He completed 68% of his passes. He threw for 300. He completed 266 passes, right, for 3,600 yards, 3,633 yards, 30 touchdowns to 5 interceptions with a 9.4 average per throw, right? Which total out for his 2 seasons a combined 8,170 yards, 72 touchdowns with 10 picks, right? Outstanding. I mean, outstanding stats. You got to think Caleb is over there in the Pac-10, and he was airing it out, man. No real running game. Obviously, if you're throwing the ball 500 times, there ain't too much running going on. You know what I'm saying? Drake May, in 22, he threw for 517 attempts, okay? 517 times he threw, 342 completions, 4,321 yards, 38 touchdowns, 7 picks with an average of 8.4. Now, I'm adding this element to Drake May as far as his rushing yards. He rushed for 698 and 7 touchdowns. 2023, he had 425 pass attempts with 269 completions for a 63 completion percentage, 3,608 yards, 24 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, an 8.5 average per throw. And he rushed for 449 yards with 9 rushing TDs. Now, I mentioned the rushing portion for Drake May because the debate was, all right, it's already sold that Caleb is going to Chicago. Chicago will not pass on him. That's what everyone is thinking. That's what everyone is believing. That's what everyone is saying. Truthfully, nobody knows what Chicago is going to do. If they like Jayden, because they were present as well, if they like Jayden Daniels better, they'll take Jayden Daniels number 1, right? But it was a comparison. It's really no comparisons when you're talking about the things that Jayden can do with his legs. But also, let's make it clear that Drake May is also a bigger Justin Herbert, more mobile type of quarterback. He can get out of there if he needs to. And he has, obviously, right? And then you got Jayden Daniels. Year 2022, first year at LSU. I like what he said in his interview before I get to these stats with Louis Riddick, right? Louis Riddick asked him a series of questions after his pro day, and he was asking him, what does a leader to you look like? What is it that you know? And off the bat, he said being 18 years old, coming into Arizona State, he had to be a leader right away. And he had to gain the trust and the respect of his guys and vice versa, which he did. His teammates loved him in Arizona State. And he said to be able to transfer and go to LSU and relearn the locker room and get the players to regain his respect and trust and vice versa. It was a transition show. It showed the leadership, and obviously you can see the relationships with those guys in LSU and how that blossomed as well. He also mentioned, because Louis Riddick mentioned that it seemed like he orchestrated the pro day. Though his quarterback coach wasn't there, his coordinating stuff was there and all that. And he said that's what he did throughout the season. He was responsible for coming up to the line of scrimmage, making the right line calls, the right hot reads and checks for the offense. And that shows another great deal of command as well as leadership and recognizing what the defense is trying to do. And that's how he was so successful and winning the Heisman Trophy. I mean, it also helps when you got 2 first-round Pro Bowl, first-round draft pick wide receivers and Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. as well. But here nor there, 2022, he threw 388 passes, completed 266 for a 68 completion percentage, 2,913 yards, 17 touchdowns, 3 INTs with a 7.5 average per throw, right? 885 yards on the ground with 11 touchdowns. Now, his Heisman campaign, 327 pass attempts, 236 completions with a 72 completion percentage, right? 3,812 yards in the air, 40 touchdowns, only 4 picks with a pass average of 11.7 yards per throw. with 1,134 yards on the ground and another 10 touchdowns with an amazement combined with was that 6,725 yards in the air, 57 touchdowns to 7 INTs, 2,019 rushing yards with 22 rushing touchdowns. And 23 combined for darn near 5,000 yards combined, and 50 touchdowns. That just speaks volumes of, you can see the growth from 22 to 23, right? And I forget to mention the stat about Drake May with a combined 7,929 yards in the air, 62 touchdowns to 16 interceptions with 1,147 on the ground and 16 touchdowns. But back to Jayden. How would he be effective, and why should the Washington Commanders take Jayden Daniels at number 2? Here's one of my reasons. His skill set will transition to the NFL immediately. He will be able to, right out the gate, will have that RG3 effect. How RG3, I remember game 1 rookie season, they go up in the Saints and he has a shootout with Drew Brees. And it kind of set the league on fire. Jayden Daniels is a bigger quarterback than RG3, I would say. I would say he's a better runner. RG3 was a hell of a thrower. Don't get me confused on that. But I think Jayden Daniels is a better pocket passer. I think he's overall in this draft period the better quarterback of the 3. Caleb Williams, insane skill set, insane ability to make things happen in the dirty pocket. Drake May has a good deep ball, but I've seen on occasions where he hit those guys, throwing those guys the deep ball over the middle, so to speak. Deep balls, though, but his wide receivers got to stumble and fall. They can't run after the catch. Versus when Jayden throws the deep ball, pinpoint, it's 9 times out of 10 a touchdown, or they catching it in the stride and running. And Jayden Daniels make things happen with a dirty pocket as well. He doesn't necessarily have to run. He reads the field well. He delivers the ball on time, on target. A question is, could his arm hold up in cold, windy type of weather and things of that nature? Not really my concern, but that's something that was being talked about. But Jayden Daniels will help a bad offensive line, which the Commanders have made some significant moves, and hopefully they continue to get some players in the draft, linemen or things of that nature, get a receiver, things of that nature, right? Right out the gate, Jayden Daniels would provide a bad offense as far as last year. He will provide them with instant playmaking ability, the ability to, you got to respect them from a dual threat perspective. And I think it sets the franchise up for years to come. I'm not concerned about him being 210 pounds. I'm not concerned with him learning the playbook. Herm Edwards spoke a great deal about Jayden Daniels and how he dives into the playbook and how he is able to just pick up, process, learn, dissect. So that's not the issue. To me, he is the best prospect for the Washington Commanders at number 2. I know you heard rumblings about the McCarthy thing. I think everything is just smoke and mirrors. At the end of the day, if I'm Adam Peters and Dan Quinn, I want Jayden Daniels to lead my newly coached team. What's your guys' thoughts? Leave them in the comment section, man. You know who it is. Sports Guy TV, where we talk sports like religion. And I'm out. Till the next time.